Good evening, today we have a combo request by Muhammad Abbad for the Challenger and the Typhoon Mk.1B late. Now, before anyone asks, no, this is not the Challenger, as in the Challenger 1 main battle tank or the Challenger 2 main battle tank. This is the one sat at 5.3. You'll be surprised how many people will probably end up in the search in YouTube search and probably looking for the Challenger 2 or Challenger 1, so I'm just stating that right now before anyone really complains and all that. So the Challenger is a very interesting tank. As you can probably tell by the hull, this is based on a Cromwell, but of course the turret doesn't exactly look very charming, and I mean that in terms of looks. It just looks like a Cromwell that's just had a tumour slightly. But the hull armor doesn't really change, but the turret and the gun obviously does, but we'll cover that in just a moment. So as I said, I have reviewed this tank a few years ago. I think it was before I went to London once. But the hull is pretty much the same as a Cromwell, but it's when you get to the turret. So the turret on paper doesn't seem very tough when you get around to here. But there are parts that are about 100mm, which it won't stop much. Well, long distance it will, but there is parts that overlap if they try to go near the gun barrel, so that's at least something. The main selling point of the Challenger is you do get access to the Saber round, which cuts through Panthers like a hot knife through butter, and that's putting that lightly. Our main round, however, will be the Shot Mark 8 because, well, it's Shot Mark 8. If you're not killing stuff with Shot Mark 8, then that's probably a you problem, or you're hitting the front plate of a Panther, in which case just load this and it goes right through. Of course, in a max up tier, we might run into a King Tiger, which, again, we can kill them with the Saber, we can kill them with Shot Mark 8, but you cannot go through the whole front unless you hit the machine gun port, in which case, why are you aiming there? And yeah, it's definitely one that this tank can do a lot of work, but there is one flaw about it which might just not help us. And as you can see here, it's the reverse gear at 1.9 miles per hour. But at least we have a 5.4 second reload rate, so that's at least something. But let's have a look at the plane. I don't think I've ever covered the Typhoon Mk.1B late in a video before, which is interesting because I actually quite like this plane. So this is a rather good aircraft. Obviously we do have 420mm, and I will be taking the bombs because I prefer the bombs on the Typhoon. The RP3 rockets are a bit hard to use, but otherwise it's the same one at 2.7, although it might be 3.0 now, and I'm just slipping. Yeah, it's 3.0. This used to be 2.7 for context, and it was a nightmare to deal with. But yeah, this pretty much trades out the 12 machine guns for 4 cannon, and I think this is going to be a pretty good, shall we say, combo. So, let's go in and let's get cracking with this combo. I kind of suspected that this would be a good combo, and I think it will. It depends on how the teams are, but we'll see. And hopefully we can actually do something in the damn plane. And Sun City, I've barely been on this map. I don't actually know where to go. I mean, there's the motorway near, well, overpass, if you want to be technical, near A, but the problem is getting there before the, well, who are we facing? The Germans and the Italians, so yeah, we're not beating them there. So, as I said, we're going to be maining Shot Mark 8. So, let's bring, let's say, 30 shells of this, 5 rounds of Sabo, and 5 HE. Let's roll. That's a bit over the top for like ammunition, because obviously the hull ammo rack there. But with a reload rate like this, you kind of have to consider this sort of thing. But don't worry, this thing is spaded, so it is very fast, because, well, it's based on a Crommy. The Cromwell is a very good tank in general. Like it's a bit lacking in the firepower, but that's really its only flaw. The armor's not amazing, but, well, to be fair, not all medium tanks in the game have amazing armor. What are you brake checking me for? Jesus. Learn how to drive, man. They just brake check people. You're not a BMW driver. At worst, you'd be a Lada driver, so you'd end up with a really crappy dash cam on some sort of like, you know, one of them like Russian dash cam channels. If you've never seen one of those videos, it's actually quite funny. Only transmission, I aimed a bit low to be fair. How is your reload that long, mate? Whatever, I'll take that. That's at least something, I guess. Locust has just capped the point, so that's good. But obviously, I've got to be careful of my hull armor because, as I said, this thing does not have a lot of armor on the hull. But that's where our mobility comes into play. And of course, our decent turret traverse. I forgot to mention that. Okay. Now, if I was in a 6.3 match, by the way, in case I haven't said, which I know I haven't, the ammunition loadout would be very different. But of course, we're not in a 6.3 game. I believe we are in 5.7. No, 6.0 because of the IS-2. And to be honest, I'm not bothered about that sort of BR anyway. So -10 gun depression, that's more than enough. I've never actually been up here, so I'm going to see what the view is like, because... BF-109, okay. Good to know for future reference. I think they're being slaughtered on the flank right now. Sorry if my throat sounds a little bit sore. By the way, I've had a bit of a sore throat for a couple of days. That's dead. Okay, that's fine. Where the fuck's the rest of them then? Hang on a minute. Okay, we're gonna load Sabo because obviously he is hull down. Oh crap, that's a Storer. Got his driver. Outrun that gun, outrun that gun. It's like fucking Fury. And yeah, I'm dead. I only saw that Tiger at the last minute. What is it with Tigers going hull down recently? Is this some sort of like thing going on that I need to know about? But don't worry, we'll jump back into Challenger later. What are you doing? Yeah, that's the only problem with going up there, it seems, is a lot of Tiger players just sit hull down and then you have to load Sabo and then, well, I mean, you don't have to load Sabo, but the turret of the Tiger 1 is a bit finicky sometimes, so I tend to just, you know, I don't tend to really, like, deal with them hull down. I tend to try and get around them. If I can't, then I'll just go for the Commander's Hatch of APHE, but obviously with British tanks, you don't have that. Okay, I think I see a head. What is that? Okay, that's a Tiger. Okay, I'm not bothered about that. You just bombed yourself. Well done. Okay. Swinging it back around. I don't have this Typhoon on an amazing cruise, so don't expect it to not, like... Oh, hello. Thank you. I will take that. Nice easy kill on a Nashorn. I will take that. I do want to get these bombs out soon, though, so kind of need to work on that. But obviously, I don't want to bomb a teammate. That'd be the last thing I want to do. Okay, Tiger in the spawn on the right. Oh, for fuck's sake. It's like the A21 video all over again. And the Delat Torn. Just the second people die in a tank or a tank destroyer, they just spawn AA. And yep, he's trying to shoot me down. Of course he is. Is this some sort of epidemic that's going on right now? Because I just don't understand it. Let's have a quick look. Because I don't really want to use my bombs on a fucking Ostwind. I really don't want to. I've just seen the Tiger down that main road, so let's see if we can do that. Yeah, there's something there, so let's go for that. Nice juicy tiger. Present! And he just drove right into him, thank you. Makes my job a lot easier. Okay. I don't think we're even going to get a chance to go in the Challenger again. Unless they start making a good push. Let's see if we can light this guy up to 20 mils a bit. I heard that. What was that? I heard something with that tiger. Low out there. It's that 109 from earlier. Nope. I'm not gonna crash into a fucking building. Where's the little shit? There he is. Oh! I couldn't avoid that. That's unfortunate. Okay, well they are pushing the cap, so let's jump back into Challenger. I didn't really have time to avoid that. By the time I'd already blown his plane to Kingdom Come, I wouldn't have been able to avoid that. Oh, hello. Okay. You had an argument with a building, and the building won. So they've got to be pushing down this main road, otherwise they're gonna lose on the cap. I just heard that. I thought I heard a fucking panther. Yeah, pointing your front to me ain't gonna do shit, son. That's why I brought some of that. I just ignored it at first. I thought, I'm just gonna ignore it. It's probably just me hearing things. But no. I was right, I was a fucking panther. That's a little life lesson for you all. If your gut's telling you that there's something there, don't ignore it, because that almost got us killed. I mean, I'm trying to reverse here to get a shot at whatever that was. I think it was a tiger. Right, reversing's just gonna take a decade, so I'm not even gonna bother. You saw, like, if you guys saw it as well, you'd understand why I had to slam on the brakes. I think the M18's just found it. It was a Panther, yeah. I thought so. Yeah, not a bad result. I mean, we probably could have done a little better, but hey-ho. I knew this team was going to win anyway, just by the team composition, to be honest. The fact that we didn't get stuck with the bloody Germans is one such thing. And yeah, that was pretty much a slaughter. Not really a lot they can do now. And yep, that's the game. Not bad at all. Could have done a little better in both vehicles, but I mean, given how quickly that enemy team collapsed, probably not. And well, I mean, I probably could have gone in a better position, but like I said, I barely played that map. I don't particularly like its layout. It just seems like it's just ambush central. But I mean, it's not too bad, and well, it's an alright map. It's just not my cup of tea, which is rather appropriate because obviously we're playing Britain. But anyway, so as I said, I knew this combo was going to be pretty strong. Like I said, I don't know that map particularly well. I am learning it, and well, now I know not to go up there, so that's at least something. We've all learned something today, I guess. But yeah, if you do want a 2-vehicle lineup and you just want to give this sort of lineup a go, I really have no complaints about this lineup. The only probable thing is the fact that I wish this thing had the Comet hull, because then it had a bit better armor, but other than that, I mean, this thing is very competitive, and as you saw with the Sabo, you can go straight through the front of a Panther with little issue. And well, we've also learned to not ignore your gut, that's for sure. as for the Typhoon, it is a very good plane, and as we saw, whilst it is a bit stiff in the controls sometimes, I don't know if you maybe noticed that, it is rather agile and it can defeat pretty much most things you could run into in terms of anti-cast. And, well, the bombs are good enough to take out a Tiger, which is always nice. And the 420mm just eviscerated that BF-109. So if you are looking to play this sort of combo, this gets the thumbs up from me. I have no complaints about it. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's video on the Challenger and the Typhoon Mk.1B late. Sorry for it not being the most featured gameplay and all that jazz. But this is the best this is the best 3 out of 3, and yeah, that's pretty much how all matches went. But anyway, I'll see you all on the next one.